Donald Trump will have at least 3 people snitch on him, according to Michael Cohen, his former attorney. And also an update on the money. Yep, Donald Trump raising a record amount of money with a new Fulton County mugshot. Let's get into it. All right, let's put it up. Full mass. Now, you get arrested with all of these individuals, somebody is going to turn state. Oh, and by the way, the blackmail, well, his bond was denied. All right, several high profile members of Trump's legal political team were also indicted in the case, including Rudy Giuliani, Sidney Powell, John Eastman, Mark Meadows, Kenneth Chesebro, Jeffrey Clark, Janet Ellis, and others. So Cohen has now made another prediction. And I gotta say this, Cohen's predictions have been spot on. I will explain in just a moment. So Cohen has made a prediction. And according to Cohen, he predicts that prosecutors will go and get co-defendants such as Trump's ex-chief of staff, Meadows, Eastman, and or Giuliani to turn, noting that those 3 could end up in a similar situation to himself. Cohen previously served prison time for charges of campaign finance violations, tax evasion, and lying to Congress in connection to alleged hush money payments made by Trump's 2016 campaign. Now, the irony of this, Cohen went to prison because of what Trump told him to do, according to the narrative. They believed Cohen. They said, yeah, we believe you did the illegal thing that Donald Trump told you to do. So he goes to prison, Donald Trump does not. But it was actually Cohen who basically guaranteed us that Donald Trump would in fact be indicted in his future for those crimes. Manhattan DA and others follow suit. There's more. Several defendants are facing mounting bills. And this is the irony of it. All of them are broke, according to the report. Giuliani has no money. These individuals cannot pay their bills. So several defendants are facing mounting bills in the case as well, but Trump has not put the bill for these expenses. A move that has been perceived as risky, as it could alienate his co-defendants or lead them to cooperate with Fulton County prosecutors. Ellis, who worked as Trump's attorney around the 2020 election, questioned in a post to social media platform X, formerly known as Twitter, why Trump's team is not funding his co-defendants' legal fees. So now you have the people who were down with Trump questioning this move. Now, I know a lot of people would like to refer to Trump as being a mob boss and being a gangster. He is charged under the RICO Act, but a mob boss would have had everyone paid. Legal fees would have been paid, or a hitman would have been after, one or the other. Okay, I was reliably informed Trump is not funding any of us who are indicted. Would this change if he becomes the nominee? Why then not now? I totally agree. This has become a bigger principle than just one man. So why isn't MAGA Inc. funding everyone's defense? She asked earlier this month. Meanwhile, legal experts have speculated that Meadows may have someone who could flip on Trump, who is reportedly suspicious of his ex-chief of staff. Anyway, let's put up his mugshot. He's been able to raise a bunch of money. Now, the pose, obviously, was something he practiced. He's been practicing this pose, according to my sources, for 20 years. He knew eventually he was probably going to go to jail. He got his wig combed just right, the tilt of his head. But you see that badge in the background? That badge says Sheriff Patrick Dam Labatt, Fulton County. Donald Trump has turned his Georgia mugshot into a record-breaking fundraising haul. The former president has raised $7.1 million since he was booked at an Atlanta jail Thursday evening. According to figures provided, first to Politico by his campaign, on Friday alone, Trump raised $4.18 million, making it the single highest 24-hour period of his campaign to date, according to a person familiar with the totals. Put his mugshot back up. This is what I would like to suggest to the Fulton County Sheriff. There's a concurrent ruling in the circuit via the court. One ruling says that a sheriff's office does not have the authority to regulate how mugshots are utilized. There's another ruling that says because you all are constitutional authorities, you get to set the policy in this. I'm not telling you what to do, Sheriff. I'm just saying that if Donald Trump did not get proper permission to license his mugshot for commercial use, you may have a windfall and it will resolve all of your, let's just say, funding issues for the county jail. Just a recommendation for your team to look into. Wise thoughts.
Man, I want to return to that earlier point about Donald Trump not paying for the lawyer fees of his co-defendants. Every single mob boss or crime boss worth their salt understands that the price of these guys being on the front lines and being his minions, actually making the calls, actually trying to do the enforcement, in another business, these might be corner boys or runners or, the guys that come with the baseball bats to break legs when people don't pay up because they're actually in harm's way. The reward is that when you do eventually inevitably get knocked, that the boss who gets to sit in his nice mansion on his cushy couch while you're doing all of this legwork will pay for your lawyer fees. Donald Trump just being the cheapest, most corrupt of them all, of all the crime bosses, has refused to pay these people's lawyer fees. And I think it'll ultimately be his undoing because they got a pretty strong case up there in Fulton County. The case in New York, like I keep saying, it's like, he used his campaign money to fund hush money of a sex worker, etc. That's a little bit vague. This is just a crime of a different category, right? And they have phone recordings, they have all of this stuff. It's looking pretty bad for him, Dr. Richey.
Yeah, I mean, the man is going to get convicted. I was explaining to a friend of mine, he doesn't have to get convicted of all of them. If he gets convicted of one felony, he has an issue. And the issue is 100% of all Republican states, they do not allow you to be placed on the ballot if you are currently under a felony conviction and you have not successfully served your parole or probative sentence. They would have to do some really miraculous maneuvering in order to eliminate the law that has been standing for decades in these conservative states in particular.